Welcome to Media Melanie Talks TV. I'm Melanie, and today I am here to talk about a brand new series on FX and Hulu. It is called Grotesquerie, and let me just tell you, it has lived up to its name so far after having watched the pilot. This one airs on FX on Wednesdays. It streams the next day on Hulu, and there are currently 2 episodes available. Today I will be talking about the pilot. Now, this is a Ryan Murphy series, and talk about a busy guy in television. Ryan Murphy has a lot going on. That includes American Sports Story with Aaron Hernandez, Monsters with Eric and Lyle Menendez, and also his episodic anthology horror series, American Horror Stories, returns to Hulu for a Huluween event on October 15th. Of course, Ryan Murphy is also known for American Horror Story, which is an anthology series from season to season. The earlier seasons are so much better than the recent ones. In general, I think the seasons have gone downhill pretty much every season. The earlier seasons of Murder House, Coven, that was some of their best work. But last season was delicate with Kim Kardashian and Emma Roberts, and I did not even finish watching it. So with that, I was a little unsure what to expect with Grotesquerie. The trailer looked good. We are going to see Travis Kelce in an unnamed role. I have not seen him yet as of the pilot, so I'm very curious to see how his character will come into play and also what his acting chops are like. Ryan Murphy is known for casting some different names. Of course, we saw this with Kim Kardashian, and I am dying to know how Travis Kelce translates on the screen. So TBD on that. In terms of the topic of Grotesquerie, the log line reads, a detective and a nun investigate a series of heinous crimes that seem personal while grappling with personal issues and uncovering a sinister web that raises more questions than answers. And right out of the gate, it started strong, it started dark, it started very evil and unsettling. Everything you would expect from Ryan Murphy, but this feels different than American Horror Story. So I'm pretty optimistic for this season. Now, the meaning of grotesquerie is a strange or horrible creature, often frightening. And again, so far, this show has lived up to its title. We saw a lot of disturbing shit in the pilot, from grinding up human parts to something related to a human body boiling in a pot, which Niecy Nash's character Lois referred to as the worst thing you could imagine boiling in a pot. Now, my mind went a bunch of places, no matter what body part or organ or head or whatever it is disgusting. We saw a weird secretion, this black tarry substance that the nun, Sister Megan, ends up saying has this smell similar to brimstone, which is an end of days biblical situation. So I'm eager to see more about this mysterious secretion and substance and really exactly what it is and how it ties in here. So Niecy Nash Betts, she plays a no shit taking, hard edged detective. She's got a daughter, Mary. It seems like their relationship might be a little bit strained, and her husband is in long term care. Now, speaking of her husband being in hospital in what seems to be a coma and unconscious state, what is up with Nurse Red? I found something very unsettling and creepy about her. The way she's eating those chocolates, she seems a little condescending, a little creepy, and I just do not trust her whatsoever. So we'll see if there is actually something sinister with her. Maybe she's tied into this somehow, maybe not. And some of these characters just have that overall dark feel. So we will see. The creepy nun, as I've been calling her, Sister Megan, is played by Michaela Diamond. And I guess my biggest question is it seems like Lois led her into this circle of trust, giving her all of this background information on the case after having just met her. She comes into the police station, she introduces herself, talks about how, she's covering crime and cults for a Catholic news outlet. And I just found it very interesting that Lois clued her into all these things. It seemed like, could the nun be involved? Probably not, because she's investigating along with her. But I don't know. I just think a lot of times perpetrators will insert themselves into the investigation, she ends up showing up at the second crime scene, and I found that to be a little sus as well. But we shall see if there is indeed something sinister. She's also kind of a comedic character. Niecy Nash Betts refers to her character, Sister Megan, as the swearing nun. And again, there's kind of this overall theme of darkness, but on the periphery is this subtle, dark, black comedy. And I think it works well because it's not too overstated and it fits in with the sinister vibe of the show so far. The heinous nature of everything we've seen, between the bodies hanging on the walls with the blood mysteriously drained, entrails just hanging down and out of their body, and then what looked like some sort of pile of innards of humans, just absolutely gross. Not to mention at the first crime scene when they were talking about the peppered and roasted humans and the fact that somebody ate them. This is cannibalism full force, you guys. The image of that grinding meat, I just can't get over it. This first family died of acute shock and heart failure from all of these atrocities they had to witness. The Burnside family is their name, and by all counts, they seem like a pretty normal family. So I'm curious to know what exactly they did to trigger this, or if it just has to do with this larger end of days picture, and there's some symbolism somehow with having murdered this entire family. Now, one thing I found very interesting was the message scrawled on the wall at one of the crime scenes. It reads, "Me Dera Linguisto," which translates into, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" or "Why have you abandoned me?" or "You have abandoned me." And it's very interesting because obviously this has a lot to do with religious themes. There's a religious psychopath out there scrawling this strange message onto the wall. What does it mean? You have abandoned me. Is it somebody out there who thinks that religion is falling out of favor in the world and mankind is just too corrupt and evil and they're committing these crimes in some way to prove a point? Seems to me like if you're a religious person, you're not going to be out there killing people. Is this a cult situation? Is this a big organization of dark and sinister people trying to replicate something in the Bible with the book of Revelation, perhaps? There's obviously a tie-in to religion, given that a nun is actively investigating the case with Lois. When do we see Travis Kelce? Who is he playing? What are we going to find out about his character? Is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Is he involved with the killings? Can this man act? I've got faith that he can because he is quite a larger than life character. Of course, he is also known for dating Taylor Swift in addition to his football notoriety. So it's interesting that Ryan Murphy chose him. He's very popular right now. So I wonder if this will be helpful or more of a deterrent for all of those people out there that seem to have a problem with showing Taylor Swift attending her boyfriend's games. I hope it will draw more people in because he is kind of a pop culture icon right now. And we shall see if he ends up being a good guy or a bad guy. This is really one of the things I'm most excited about. I'm not even a football fan, but there's just something interesting about the choices that Ryan Murphy makes when he's casting. So all in all, with this pilot of Grotesquerie, I've got to say, it came out of the gates strong. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. Again, American Horror Story has really declined in its 13 seasons. And also, how does Ryan Murphy keep coming up with all of these ideas? Do you think some of them kind of exploit the subject matter a little bit? I'm very fascinated with true crime, but is he overdoing it with all of this Aaron Hernandez, Lyle and Eric Menendez? I watched Monster the first season on Netflix with Jeffrey Dahmer, and I actually had to stop watching it. I'm familiar with the case, but just something about it was just so inhumane. I couldn't finish it. This one feels different because it is fictional. It's not based on a book. It is from the mind of Ryan Murphy and fellow creators. So I'm ready to dive in. I'm going to go watch episode 2 now, write down some thoughts, and I will be back to cover it. So stay tuned. And I would like to know, if you've watched Grotesquerie, what did you think about the first episode? I would love if you would subscribe and be sure to comment and let me know. If you haven't watched it yet, do you plan to watch it? Also, let me know that, and be sure you're subscribed to MediaMelanieTV.com so you don't miss any of my upcoming TV talk. I do plan to cover Teacup coming to Peacock on October 10th, and probably Sweet Pea starring Ella Purnell, which is coming to Stars on October 10th. And again, be sure you're subscribed to MediaMelanieTV.com for more TV coverage. Media Melanie, clicking off.